back. Get another drink of water if you need it. Good. Okay.
Right, Green Hills are they're butt right in here.
Green Hills.
This is the faculty.
Double tap. So anytime you're ready, I'm double tap.
Good afternoon and welcome to Convocation. Please remain standing as we welcome one of our student a cappella groups, Hawkward, to sing the national anthem.
to see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, the land of the free, and the home of the brave, of the brave. Let's go.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Wherever we travel or live, there is a history that is important to know and understand. It is a pleasure to welcome Professor Charlotte Carrington Farmer to the podium for a land acknowledgement as part of our ceremony today. She received her PhD from the University of Cambridge and is an associate professor of history, specializing in early American history. Dr. Carrington Farmer.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to share with you today some of the history of our namesake, these lands, and the town of Bristol to help you connect with your new home. As our namesake, Roger Williams, would have said, "What cheer, Neatop?" What cheer is 17th century English for what cheery news do you bring? Essentially a 17th century how you doing or a what's up. A Neatop is the Narragansett word for friend. So what cheer, Neatop? And I hope you're settling well so far. One of the things you'll learn this semester in your Roger seminar is how our namesake, Roger Williams, believed that the indigenous peoples that he knew were equal in God's eyes. He famously said, and I quote, "Nature knows no difference between Europe and Americans in blood, birth, and bodies." He told his fellow settler colonists, and I quote again, "Boast not proud, English, of thy birth and blood. Thy brother Indian is by birth as good." Due to Roger's vision, Rhode Island was arguably the freest place in the world, in the Western world at that time, which not only respected indigenous rights, but also valued religious freedom, welcomed refugees who were fleeing for their lives, and separated church and state. All of these things seem worthy of honor to us today. But during his lifetime, Roger Williams was banished, he had his books burnt, and was despised by many, and even received death threats for his new and dangerous opinions. Moreover, before founding Rhode Island and creating this visionary colony where all were welcome, Roger was a college student, just like you. He was a first-generation college student who didn't come from money. He was only able to study at university because of a scholarship and financial aid package. And it was through hard work, intelligence, and drive that Roger got his college degree. So these are things to keep in mind over your next 4 years here. Now, it would be easy for me to tell you just the good stuff today. However, we need to acknowledge some difficult truths. Roger Williams was also an enslaver and traded indigenous peoples into slavery in the midst of war. In 1676, Metacom, the Pokanoket leader, was murdered at Patumtuk, Mount Hope Farm, right up the road from where we are today. And from there, his family was sold into slavery in the Caribbean. So our presence on this particular land implicates us in the legacy of our namesake, who strove in many ways to respect the sovereignty and humanity of the indigenous peoples he knew, but in other ways actively contributed to their enslavement. However, despite enslavement, oppression, forced removal, and documentary genocide, indigenous peoples are still here. They're not historical, they're not vanquished, or indeed assimilated communities. They maintain unique, complex, and important relationships to the lands, waters, non-human creatures, and beings that surround us here on our campus and beyond. I encourage you to learn more about the various thriving indigenous communities in and around Rhode Island during your 4 years here. It's also my job to welcome you to your new home, the town of Bristol. And just like Roger Williams, the history of the town is complicated. As the red, white, and blue center line through the middle of town reminds us, Bristol has the honor of being the oldest continually running 4th of July parade, putting it front and center in America's celebration of freedom. Just like Roger, though, it's a complicated story, and Bristol also has a more difficult history to confront. In the 18th and 19th century, the town was the epicenter of the American trade in enslaved peoples. Bristol's economy was tied to the West Indies and South America, and almost every business and industry in the town was connected in some way to slavery and the trade. By 1750, Rhode Islanders held the highest proportion of enslaved peoples in New England. 10% of the population was enslaved, double the northern average. During this period, Rhode Islanders purchased and sold more enslaved peoples than all other traders throughout the entire country. Let that sink in. However, enslavement was contested at every step, and freedom seekers ran away from their enslavers, lobbied for their freedom, and worked to live the fullest lives possible within the constraints of enslavement. Coming to terms with this complicated and often contradictory history is difficult. And as part of your first year seminar, the Roger Seminar, you'll learn more about reconciling these difficult truths. So my final welcome is to the state of Rhode Island, where our state motto is hope. So my final words to you today are ones of hope. Don't be afraid to use your knowledge, however difficult it might be to grapple with, to bring change to the world. Use your years here to immerse yourself in your college, town, and state communities. And I hope along the way you use your education for good. So once again, what cheer Nitop, and I look forward to learning with you over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carrington Farmer. Greetings and welcome to the members of the Board of Trustees, President Mialis, Provost Everett, faculty, university administrators, staff marshals, orientation advisors, peer mentors, and student volunteers, parents, family members, and most importantly, the first year and transfer students comprising our entering class. As Vice President of Student Life, I thank you for participating in convocation exercises today and for celebrating this important milestone together. For both family members and students, today is a day of powerful and competing emotions. The energy created by pride, happiness, and excitement, conflicting with anxiety about the transition to university life, making new friends, taking on new academic challenges, and saying goodbye temporarily to loved ones. As if not complicated enough, you have been navigating together through a worldwide pandemic that has changed the course of your high school career, resulting in adaptation and resilience, but also some lost experiences. Joining you today are the dedicated faculty, staff, and student leaders who are committed to mentoring you along the way. Do not hesitate to reach out, ask questions, seek guidance, and make suggestions. They are here for you. Students, we know that you're asking, what is so special about this ceremony? And how long will it last? Do the people on the platform realize how darn hot and humid it is out here? And what in the world would lead the faculty, marshals, and platform party to put on long, warm, dark robes today? Some family members may want a longer ceremony despite the heat, a longer goodbye, while others have already begun planning reallocation of bedroom space. History informs us that the term convocation dates back to the 14th century, originally used to describe important religious gatherings, and then adopted by universities to celebrate academic ceremonies, such as the beginning of the academic year. At Roger Williams, convocation begins with a procession of the entering class wearing hawk emblazoned shirts in unity, and continues with messages from the university community formally welcome the entering class to our learning community. Importantly, convocation concludes with the new class reciting the Pledge of Academic Integrity together. Your first week is upon us. Your orientation will continue with several important transition programs this week, including fall orientation programs and meetings with your peer mentors, resident assistants, and commuter assistants, your assigned learning community, Rogers seminars, and your first day of classes on Tuesday. By the end of the week, you will have a deeper sense of why you are here, what faculty expect, who is here to help, and why every student matters. Learning is central to all we do as a university, and while we learn together, new and returning students, faculty, and staff, we are in the process of building community and caring about each other. This is hard work that requires patience, humility, and honesty, especially during challenging times. Being a community member requires intentional investment and action. True community members don't stand by while a peer struggles with any of life's many challenges, loss, or injustice. They reach out, offering empathy, intervention, and support. The call to community requires all of us to listen and understand each other, to welcome and embrace all expressions of diversity and identity, and to respect and value the dignity of each individual. The university welcomes each of you and your family members to the RWU community. It is now my pleasure to welcome Amy Tiberio, Vice President of Enrollment Management, to the podium for the presentation of the entering class. Amy?
Thank you, John. Good afternoon. My role today is to officially introduce the entering class of new first-year and transfer students to the greater campus community as you begin your Roger Williams academic career. We are so excited for you and are honored that you have chosen Roger Williams as your new home. Individually, you have all taken very distinct pathways to join us, and so it's exciting to be able to welcome you all today for the first time as one full class of new students. Allow me to share just a few high-level characteristics and facts about you and your new classmates. You come to us from 589 different public and private high schools and transfer institutions. You hail from 33 states and are citizens of 24 countries. 85% of you are out-of-state students. 17% identify as students of color, continuing to positively enhance the diversity of our overall student body as we continue to strive for more improvement in this critical area. Your involvements and hobbies are also diverse. You are athletes, activists, volunteers, musicians, dancers, actors, poets, and so much more. And you are one of the most academically talented classes we have ever had. In addition, and more specifically, within this class, we welcome someone who competed in the Little League World Series, a performer in the Rose Bowl parade, a hydroponic farmer, a successful YouTuber, a bagpipe player, an experienced naturalist, a Revolutionary War reenactor, at least a few black belts in karate, several entrepreneurs, several presidents of clubs and service groups, many Eagle Scouts, and many children and siblings of RWU alumni. I can only touch on the talents and experiences you are bringing to us. Please know, individually, each of you will make us a better institution, and collectively, you are an amazing class. We cannot wait to see how you will challenge us and help us grow. Most importantly, please know that you are here because we believe in you and we know that you can succeed. It is now my privilege to hand off this incredible class to our president. Since joining us, Dr. Mialis has been an incredibly inspirational leader. He is a connector of people and ideas. And under his leadership, our community is the strongest that it has ever been. Dr. Mialis, I am pleased to present to you the first year and transfer students representing this fall 2021 entering class.
Thank you, Amy. And it's so hot, but imagine doing this under the hurricane we had last week. So we're better off. So yeah, you'd rather the hurricane, eh? Yeah. Actually, me too. So good afternoon, everyone, and I'm so excited to officially welcome you to Roger Williams. You're about to start an incredible journey, and I'm excited for you, and I'm excited that we're here in person to kick it off versus Zoom. I'm entering my junior year at Roger Williams University, my third year as Roger Williams University president. And I think I finally have figured out a few things about this amazing community. I want you to know that the faculty and staff of Roger Williams University are committed to your success. We believe in you, we will push you, and we're excited to see what you can accomplish. And now I know a little bit about the first day jitters that you may feel being in a new place. And please don't be fooled by my Rhode Island accent. I'm actually come from Greece. And I grew up in Greece and came here to study. I studied as a freshman in the United States, like you are starting today. And I came to Boston. This is where I landed. I was my first in my family to attend four-year college. And of course, to get from Athens, Greece to here, you have to take a plane. So my mom brought me to the airport, and she was crying her eyes off. Because I was leaving her. It was a very emotional moment. And by the way, I was eventually replaced by 19 cats. And that's a different story. Some of you will hear it if we have lunch together, when we have lunch together at the Commerce, the cafeteria. So I arrived in Boston with just 2 suitcases, quite a bit less than what I saw some of you bringing today, quite a bit less. And some of you have a lot of stuff. Actually, I saw somebody bringing a couch. I don't know where on earth the couch is going to fit in the room. So my parents and I had no idea what a typical American college experience would be like. I had my 2 suitcases, and one of them was a brand new suit. So my father, 2 weeks before I left to come here to study, he took me to his tailor to get a suit so that I would be properly dressed for college classes. So picture me coming out of my freshman dorm room the first day of classes in a suit and a briefcase. I lived in a suite kind of arrangement, and all my suite mates looked at me and they said, where the heck are you going? Do you have an interview already? We haven't even started classes yet. Of course, I had no idea how I was supposed to get dressed. And after they laughed at me, I went in, took off the suit, put on my jeans, and I never wore that suit ever again. This was truly a Borat moment. So while this is my third year at Roger Williams University as president, it feels so new to me I can relate to your new as you all feel. My first 2 years were disrupted by COVID, so we'll get to experience some parts of Roger Williams and some traditions together for the first time because things had to be done differently. Things we have put on hold the last few years are coming back. And actually, I have some great news. So we tested about 1,500 students, all of you and some returning students, RAs, athletes, for COVID. We only had 1 positive. So that's wonderful. So let's keep it good, folks, so we can take off the masks eventually. So as you start your time here, I do want to share some advice with you all. First, be organized and plan ahead. That's something I did all my undergraduate years. I bought a calendar. I know many of you have calendars on your phones now, but I bought a physical calendar, like a dentist have, which goes half hour by half hour. And every Sunday after I came back from brunch, I sat down and planned my whole week because this is not high school. Now you may have a class at 8:30, you have break for 2 hours, then you have class, then you have a lab afterwards. So what I did is I planned my time, when I'm going to study this, when I'm going to do this lab report, And I never, because of that, I never had to study past 8 o'clock at night, ever, in my undergraduate years. And always I had a good time, at least a full day in the weekend. So I strongly recommend you get a calendar, plan your week, and stick with it, and you're going to have a lot of free time to have a lot of fun. I challenge you to take advantage of the incredible educational opportunities here at our university. You have before you 8 schools of study to dig into and explore. You have all the opportunities of a well-rounded education, a strong liberal arts education that can combine with professional education, and nearly all Hawks double major and add minors in so many different combinations based on your passions and interests and how they will grow and change in the years ahead. Get to know your faculty. Our faculty teach small classes and provide personal attention to our students. Make time to go to their office hours and develop a friendship and professional connection. And ask the faculty about their projects and research. We have fabulous faculty doing amazing research here. And with a commitment to undergraduate education, it means opportunities for you to be engaged in scholarly work. And that's the kind of college you want to be in. Some of your classmates from high school attend research universities, and they won't have these opportunities because in research universities, most of the research is done by graduate students. And please be the first to discover something new, to design something new. Get off campus. One of our distinctive elements of a Roger Williams University education is our focus on undergraduate research and engaged scholarship, working with community partners to solve real problems. You'll get many opportunities to participate in projects and community-engaged work, starting as early as your first year. Learn another language. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, and knowing another language can serve you very well. And plan to study abroad. Make many friends. We're a close family here at Roger Williams, and we thrive in smaller classrooms and personal interactions between students, faculty, staff, coaches, advisors. You will make lifelong friendships here and maybe even meet your spouse. Those friends may be sitting beside you, in front of you, or in back of you right now. You'll have the opportunity to meet people from all states and countries, and you can learn from their experiences and respect the differences and individuality. And we celebrate diversity here in all its forms. We welcome everyone, regardless of their religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and gender identity. And we expect all of you to respect differences and preserve the great family we are. And now a little advice to parents. Going to college and working at Tufts, that's where I went, and my kids went up going many years ago. I thought I knew everything about the university. I feel very comfortable about the university. And when my girls decided to go to Tufts, I said, that's going to be easy for me because I know the place. But when I moved in my older daughter, after I kissed her and hugged her, I went to the bathroom and fainted. So it's not easy, and I know. But some of you, we have very hard time. Well, some of you are probably celebrating in some ways. But all I ask you to do is just let them go. It's a leap of faith, but I hope you can trust us and trust the growth that will happen in the years ahead. It will not be perfect every day. That's why they call them growing pains. They will have wins. They will have struggles. They will call or text you sometimes, and sometimes days may pass without hearing. Let them show you what they can do. I did it with my own 2 girls. I didn't want to let them go either. I let them go, and it all worked out just fine. We are committed that the success of your children and loved ones, we will take care of them here. My wife, Haiti, and I are present and active on campus. Our wonderful faculty and staff will be dedicated to their care day and night. We want every Roger Williams member to feel part of our family. So welcome and good luck. You are now officially members of the class of 2025, and I look forward to seeing you on campus throughout the year. Thank you. Let's go, Hawks!
Thank you, President Mialis. I am pleased to introduce our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Margaret Everett. Dr. Everett just completed her first full year at the university and has held leadership positions at universities on both coasts. She's a sophomore now, coming to RWU most recently from Lesley College in Cambridge, where she served as provost. She earned a PhD and MPhil in anthropology from Yale University and a Bachelor of Arts in Latin American Studies from Smith College. Please welcome Dr. Everett.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all today on this very warm but hopeful and exciting afternoon. As the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, I thank you for participating in convocation exercises today and celebrating this important milestone together. I'm a cultural anthropologist, as you heard, so I tend to see these ceremonies in terms of rites of passage, which mark the transition from one stage of life to another. This is an important transition, not only for our students, but also their parents. And can we just take a moment to have a shout out for these parents? I see you all. If this isn't a parenting moment, sitting out in the hot sun to support your children, and I see you all along the fence line there. Thank you for being here. During our summer orientation sessions, I had the pleasure to welcome most of our new students to tell you all what I think is exciting about a Roger Williams education, including the opportunity to learn across disciplines, to gain real-world experience through internships, research, and study abroad, and to remind you all to have fun and find joy amidst the hard work ahead. So today, I'd like to say a few words to the parents about this very existential moment you're experiencing. You see, I just delivered my youngest daughter to college, so I see you, I feel your pride and your pain. And what follows is a little bit of a pep talk to myself as well as to all of you. One of the deans here recently said to me about my daughter going to college, "Congratulations, you made a college student." So I say to you parents the same. How about that? You made a college student. Congratulations. As a student of languages, I want to share with you that my favorite word in Portuguese is jeitinho, or jeito. Jeito means way, and dar jeito, or dar jeitinho, means to find a way, to find a little way. Now, that doesn't really explain what this expression means. It is a quintessentially Brazilian phrase and implies creativity, resourcefulness, even cunning in finding a way through life's challenges. It celebrates the ability to find a solution even when options are limited and resources are scarce. In my family, we quite like problem solving, and we often talk about fixable problems. Most problems in life, I find, are fixable problems in one way or another. And we parents have helped our children fix problems and find solutions, find a way, and we've helped them develop the tools to find their own solutions and to fix their own problems. And of course, this is why this is such an existential moment for us parents, isn't it? Besides the fact that we will obviously miss our children, as parents, we are in what an anthropologist would call a liminal space. We are betwixt and between. Our children still need us to support them financially and emotionally and to cheer them on. But they are no longer children, are they? And most of their challenges are now theirs to overcome alone. They will use their own creativity and resourcefulness. They won't follow the same path we would, but they'll find a little way. In stepping back, we are telling them how confident we are in their abilities, in their readiness to face the world. We have prepared them for this moment. Now we have to prepare ourselves. Stepping back, of course, is harder than it sounds. Do I check my daughter's location on my phone more than I should? Yes, I do. Does she find that creepy and weird? Yes, also yes. Apparently, I have literally no chill, but I'm working on it, and so will you. Convocation is a rite of passage, but this transition, in truth, takes more time. We'll get there together, and we'll be amazed by what they can do, by what they become, and what they bring to a world that so sorely needs them. So welcome, students. Congratulations, parents. Hang in there. You've got this. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Mel Toff, who is Professor of Writing Studies and President of the Faculty Senate, and he is here to offer greetings on behalf of our wonderful faculty.
I got it, thank you. Good afternoon, all. First off, on behalf of the faculty of Roger Williams, I'm very pleased to welcome you to this university. I've been here over half a century, first coming to this campus when it was still a construction site. Where we are now sitting had at one time been farmland, and it has grown, as you can imagine, enormously. Not only in campus size, it's 8 or 10 times larger now than it was then, but also in the student body, in its faculty, its programs, its academic reputation, and especially in its many opportunities for students. Among those opportunities, one will be to develop your potential. You've no doubt heard that phrase before, perhaps too many times. You might have heard a quote attributed to the man, Roger Williams. You can easily find the quote on the internet. It goes like this: "The greatest crime in the world is not developing your potential. When you do what you do best, you are helping not only yourself, but the world." Sounds good. In fact, there's no evidence he ever said any such thing. Indeed, no one like the man Roger Williams would ever have said something like this. It's modern thinking, and anyway, it isn't an especially logical idea. For one thing, I think we can easily find in the world examples of crimes greater than not fulfilling your potential. For another, if what someone does best is, say, rob banks, I can only beg that he or she not develop that particular potential. But most of all, you'll note that the emphasis in the quote is on the self, and not on, for example, service to and engagement with others. An emphasis entirely alien to a man like Williams. As you go through your years here, then, recall occasionally your professors, your courses, your friends, not merely for how they may have helped you develop your personal potential, but how they helped you and gave you the confidence to engage with your community, your profession, and your country. They are all far from perfect. They all need you to help set them straight. So, as your time here flies by, and it will fly by, recall from time to time that those who are helping you to become engaged, and recall the professors you like and the professors you're learning a lot from. And after a while, think about whether or not those two groups of professors are the same. And consider how all these opportunities here are giving you the confidence to become not just a well-trained employee, but a truly engaged citizen. The confidence we'll give you is important. Holly Golightly, the central character of the novel Breakfast at Tiffany's, says, "Anyone who ever gave you confidence, you owe them a lot." And finally, recall that we, the faculty of Roger Williams University, wish you, throughout your time here, every success you can hope for. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Topp. Student Senate President Jordan St. Ange from Acushnet, Massachusetts, is a member of the class of 2023, majoring in legal studies and political science and minoring in dance. Jordan has been an engaged member of the RWU community since the day she stepped on campus, has worked on several community-engaged learning projects and many campus committees. She is also a head resident assistant in Maple. To give greetings and welcome on behalf of Student Senate, please welcome Jordan to the podium.
So yes, it's very hot up here. Thank you for this. So standing in front of you all today is truly a very surreal moment for me. I cannot help but stand here and reminisce on my own experience 2 years ago when I sat in your seats listening to my student body president welcome me to Roger Williams. I can vividly remember thinking to myself, that is going to be me one day. Lo and behold, here I am with the honor to finally say, hello everyone, my name is Jordan St. Ange, and I am your student body president. Now that I've officially introduced myself, I would like to rewind quickly to 2 years ago on my own move-in day. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. I just spent the last 3 hours crying about leaving my dogs, and I had probably slept a solid 2 hours the night before. Needless to say, I was a disaster, which is very common for me. However, I proceeded with moving in, and I walked through the doors of Cedar Hall, where I was greeted by my RA for the first time. I must have suddenly felt bold because immediately after he introduced himself, the first words that came out of my mouth were, "I'm going to take your job one day." Any other person would have looked at me and thought to themselves, get this girl out of my hallway right now, don't want that. But instead, my RA saw something in me that I don't think I even saw in myself yet. I choose to tell you all these short snippets of my first memories here at Roger Williams because they are just a few examples of the many things this university has to offer you. Simply put, there are opportunities here like no other. 2 years later, not only do I stand before you as student body president, but I stand before you as the girl who kept her promise and took her RA's job. And I'm not joking either. Not only did I become a resident assistant the following year, but I was assigned to live in the exact same room he lived in the year before. Love Cedar. Then I had the opportunity to mentor first-year students as they began to create their own first memories here at RWU. However, my chance to grow in my position as an RA did not stop there. I knew this job was something I was passionate about, and I wanted to keep learning more. Today, I serve as the head RA of Maple Hall, and shout out to Maple 11, and find myself itching with excitement because I still have 2 more years left here at Roger Williams University to keep growing. When people ask me what I am studying here, I tell them I'm a double major in legal studies and political science with a minor in dance. After I explain my intentions of going on to law school post-undergrad, the first question people usually ask is, then why on earth are you studying dance? I say my answer is always and will forever be because I can. Because my school makes it possible for me to explore many of my interests, so why wouldn't I take this opportunity? This is what RW has taught me. They taught me that bold freshman year Jordan, on the first day of move-in, had all of these opportunities right at her fingertips. Roger Williams allows me not only to dream big, but achieve big as well. Here at Roger Williams, you are not just a number in class or a person you once saw on campus. You are part of a community of people who know who you are and will support you. Last spring, I was unfortunately the first person sent to off-campus housing to be quarantined due to being contact traced at home. RAs move in early each semester, so there was not a single soul around while I was in quarantine. As awful as this situation was, and despite how mentally challenging it was for me to be physically alone, I have never felt more accompanied. Before I could even unpack my bag, I was getting calls from a lot of staff, including the Director of Residence Life and Housing, and I saw Renee Danho in the audience, and shout out to you as well, because I truly appreciated that. However, my first morning there, I was woken by Chef Nate over at Bay Point, where quarantine isolation was, knocking at my door, welcoming me, and taking my Dunkin' order. What a guy. I had friends bringing me so many care packages that by the end of quarantine, I had to take multiple trips back to my car. My message I want to get across to all of you is to please focus on the relationships you have in your life. The community of people you create here are going to pick you up when you are down and be there for you when you need it most. The relationships that I have fostered through Senate, class, dance, being an RA, and more keep inspiring me to strive and be the best version of myself. Take me as your sign to get involved on campus. I tell my residents this each year, but you will meet people with similar interests as your own by getting involved. One thing that has been super helpful for me throughout the past 2 years here is that people on Senate tend to have similar majors. So it just so happens that we all end up being in a lot of the same classes together. Not only does this help during finals when it comes to studying, but we save a lot on books together. You should not only stay informed, but you should stay involved as well. There is always something going on around campus. Take my advice. You will definitely want to be on the lookout for these events because most of the time they will be either giving you free food or free stuff. And as a college student, if this is not your motto already, it will quickly become, if it's free, it's for me. I'm cheap. Overall, take advantage of the time you have here. You will only have this experience once, so make the most of your college experience. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel." I know that I will never forget how the Roger Williams community has made me feel, and I hope that you all feel the same way. Now take a look at your classmates, university staff members, faculty, and friends. These are going to be the people who lift you up when you are down, and the people who will challenge and support you throughout this journey. And you will do the same for them as well. It has been my honor and my privilege to speak with you all today and share some of my experiences here at Roger Williams. Now, I would be remiss not to share with you the typical things every Hawk should know before entering. Do not bring an umbrella and do not use an umbrella on campus because you'll be fighting a losing battle. Do not touch the trays and commons. Don't do it. No, the raccoons are not pets. Do not feed them. Bad idea. And last but not least, shout out to President Mialis. If you ever see him, ask to see his dog. Just do it. It'll make your day. Some may say it would make you very happy. The dog's name's Happy. Got that. Thank you very much for your time and congratulations to the class of 2025. And on behalf of the Student Senate, I am ecstatic to welcome you to your new home and Hawk family. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. We look forward to your leadership this year. We are so fortunate to have a current Hawk parent with us today to offer words of wisdom. Judith Vigor. Judy is a 19-year veteran in PepsiCo research and development and has worked for 37 years in the food industry. She has led R&D for the development and launch of many new beverage products around the world for carbonated soft drinks, Gatorade, and other PepsiCo beverage brands. A graduate of Brown University with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering, Judy is currently working towards her PhD in food science at Rutgers University. Her son, James, is a junior at RWU. Please welcome Judy.
Thank you, John, and welcome to all of you incoming freshmen and families. When I was asked if I would do this speech, I immediately thought back to when I brought my son Jimmy here 2 years ago, and he's out there somewhere. What would I want to have heard from another parent, and what would I want my son to have heard? I came up with 2 ideas, and my son came up with a third. Don't worry, I have no interest in preaching to you about what to do or not to do. I'm here to simply share our experiences. The first is to trust the university. The second is to trust your now adult child and let them grow. And the third is particularly to the students to take care of yourself and each other. First, why do I say trust the university? It starts with the university's response to COVID. To put it bluntly, they nailed it. Everyone at RWU did an amazing job last year in response to COVID. Everyone includes the administration, faculty, employees, and the students. It was a multi-thousand-person team effort. The number one priority was to keep the students and everyone on campus safe and give the students as normal college life as possible. What amazed me was the thorough layout of the details. The investment in both time and money to achieve these priorities was well worth it. I spoke with parents of kids in other schools who were remote or who were regularly being quarantined, with some getting COVID. RWU, because of detailed management, minimized as best as possible the interruptions to students, and they kept modifying protocols as they learned. Please trust that RWU has once again prioritized keeping your students safe and in class. Second, it's come time to trust your now adult child and support them in decision-making. The university offers tremendous support services for students as well as parents. My biggest learning was to let go and let my son manage his education and his support. He's met with support teams, professors, advisors, and deans. He's worked hard and navigated a lot for academic and mental health. I've watched his growth, and he has managed this predominantly on his own. He would even say, "Mom, please let me handle this," and I would back away. The hardest thing for me has to let go and let him fly, and sometimes stumble. I want to protect him forever, and my journey has been to hold back from trying to fix, and instead help him navigate how to go forward himself independently. I'm not perfect, and I'm still a mom, but I'll keep challenging myself to let go, and it is working. He's successfully changing his major from engineering to architecture, and he is leading this. I am incredibly proud of what he is learning outside of academics, about himself and about his strengths and his perseverance and his passion for what he wants to study, and I will support him as he continues to navigate this journey. And now, a message for the students, and my son specifically asked to approve what I say here. You are all adults, and with that comes responsibility. Every one of you has already persevered through the unique challenges of the last 18 months. Please take care of yourself, and please take care of each other. I'll be honest with you, I don't know specifically what that looks like for each of you, except that I do know Roger has a wonderful counseling department who's there to help you get what you need to succeed academically and personally. You'll make some mistakes, but you can learn from mistakes. You'll keep learning about yourself, and each of you will have your own story. Please remember to take care of yourself and take care of each other as you write your incredible and exciting stories. I wish you all the best for a fantastic college experience for you and your whole family. Enjoy these years. They go by fast. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judith. It is my pleasure to introduce to you one of the coolest individuals I've ever met in my time in academia, Dean and Professor of History from the Feinstein School of Humanities, Arts, and Education, here to lead the entering class in the Pledge of Academic Integrity, Dean Jeffrey Merriweather.
Right on, Vice President King. Thanks for that. I have the privilege of administering the Pledge of Academic Integrity to our new students. The pledge embodies a set of ideals driving this institution on its mission to advocate freedom of conscience, equality, and tolerance. By embracing it, you commit yourselves to pursue academic achievement of the highest standard, of which you are able. Its goal is that we shall be collegial in the best sense of the word, a community of scholars working in an atmosphere of honesty and integrity. The faculty of Roger Williams University consider the academic pledge the foundation of trust that makes this community of learning possible. When you take the pledge, you will be welcomed into this academic community, but you must be aware that violation of the pledge will bring serious consequences. You shall pledge yourselves to a personal integrity. You pledge to take responsibility for your actions and decisions. You pledge that you are interested in acquiring knowledge on your own and of your own accord and for its own sake, rather than simply as a display of achievement to impress others, simply for a competitive advantage. Finally, you pledge that you seek to forge a bond with your professors and with your fellow students based in trust and common pursuit of knowledge, rather than on threat or penalty. I now invite our new students to stand if they are able. Yeah, come on! Now shall commence 3 hours of standing stock still. Are you ready? you'll find at the bottom of your programs the academic pledge. I ask then that you have those available. And finally, faculty, officers of the university, and trustees, please stand to witness our students' pledge. New students, please repeat after me. We, the undergraduate students of Roger Williams University, commit ourselves to academic integrity. We promise to pursue the highest ideals of academic life, to challenge ourselves with the most rigorous standards, to be honest in every academic endeavor, to conduct ourselves responsibly and honorably, and to assist one another as we live and work together in mutual support. Thank you very much. You may be seated. I wish you absolutely the best of luck in the coming academic term. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Merriweather. All right, we're almost home, folks. Here we go. Thank you, Dean Merriweather, and congratulations to our entering class. You know, just this past May, we celebrated commencements on campus for the classes of 2020 and 2021. An impressive cadre of students who navigated many anticipated challenges while remaining engaged in purposeful learning, community engagement, and leadership. We need everyone in your row and starting in your seat to take their place on campus and establish your own legacy. You and your classmates are our future. This is now your university. We encourage you to bring your ideas for improving campus life forward and volunteer to improve what exists and create what is missing. All students will meet with their peer mentors tomorrow morning, and our orientation team looks forward to welcoming you to the required fall orientation program beginning at 1:15 in the afternoon in the field house, which, by the way, is air-conditioned. Tonight at 5:15, all residential students begin meetings and dinners as part of fall orientation. Commuters will meet up tomorrow. Now the hard part. In order to start fall semester orientation, all parents and family members will need to depart campus after heartfelt hugs with their student at precisely 5 p.m. Now, we want to stop short of calling this a parent curfew, which it is, and hope folks understand. We enthusiastically invite parents and guardians back to campus October 22 through 24 for Family Weekend and Homecoming to enjoy a full array of special programs. Look for registration information on the RWU Family Facebook page. In the meantime, students, return your folks' text messages with more than one-letter responses. Money or packages may follow. And reduce their anxiety by sharing what is happening in your life on campus. We thank family members for your presence at Convocation today and wish for each student a purposeful academic journey full of learning, friendships, and personal development. Please remain standing and at your seats. This is stand up. Thank you so much. The platform party will leave the tent first, with President Mialis leading this part of the stage from here, and Grand Marshal Professor Blackburn leading this part of the stage from my left. Marshals will then guide the entering class out of the tent, and parents and family members can say goodbye to students in front of the field house, or on the Commons quad, or on the library quad tent. The university thanks everyone for participating. Safe travels and stay well. We thank the Rhode Island Highlanders Pipers. Pipers, begin your march. Thank you.